After numerous delays and a whole bunch of other bullshit, which, granted, was probably my fault, I'm back. Season 2, Episode 2. Zombie Ass. Toilet of the Dead. And just listen to it. If someone came up to you and recommended this movie, you'd think it was a joke, right? It's too childish of a concept for someone to make. Yet, it exists. And now, thanks to two bitter guests from the last episode, I have to watch it. You think that watching two zombie movies back to back would result in some creative comparisons or an analysis of their themes, but no. No, it's just shit. I grabbed two Pauls while I was drunk at a party, and somehow, beyond any means a sober mind could comprehend, I convinced them to watch Zombie Ass. Toilet of the Dead.
Who the hell writes things like this? Who's this guy? Why is he here? So we're just cutting to here now. Why not? They couldn't even write the animals well.
How does
He
that
was
make
just
any
there.
sense?
How could he be there now?
Like this?
No, just take the top
What's
off.
this
How
guy?
does people act? Fuck me. What did I just watch?
Yeah, so, interesting movie, wasn't it?
No. no, it wasn't very interesting. Interesting's probably the last thing I'd call it.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say you didn't have the English title for this movie. Like, you're trying to say it in a Japanese way, but it's going to come off as American racist. What would you think the movie would be called?
Shitaru.
What do you mean, like faux Japanese?
Yeah, if you were to just make up a Japanese word that would be the actual title of the movie, what do you think it would be called? No, that's the thing, like...
Toyoretu.
I'm just saying, if I were to be racist, it would actually be the title of the movie. I would call it, or it'd be Zombie Asu.
Zombu Asu!
Which is what it's called in Japanese.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's the Japanese title for this movie. Zombie Asu.
Zamasu. Yeah, I could see that.
Or I would probably do something like Zombu Batu.
Zambatu shugu.
Oh.
You know, I was actually trying to look up more information about the movie, and so I go to the number one source for everything.
IMDb. Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, yeah. I found this entry. Let me just read it to you in its entirety. Zombie Ass, Toilet of the Dead is a 2011 Japanese comedy horror film directed by Noboru Iguchi, which has had its world premiere in Austin, Texas Fantastic Fest Film Festival in September 2011. It was released theatrically in Japan in February 2012. And that's it. That's all the world knows about this movie.
It was a comedy? I didn't know it was supposed to be a comedy.
Yes, it is supposed to be a comedy. However...
That shit wasn't funny.
It's like, oh, okay, so apparently Japan finds fart and, like, embarrassment stuff funny. Like, it's, you know what? You know how, like, certain countries find different things funny?
Sure.
Like, there's that British sense of humor and American whatever, and this is apparently meant to be, like, Japanese sense of humor. Like, oh, no, the ladies are farting. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, okay. I mean, it might be more like ladies farting or something that's more hilarious, because... I mean, I laugh at fart jokes, don't get me wrong, but this was like really, this was literal shit humor.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, like,
well,
at one point, like, they play for laughs the fact that she's, like, embarrassed. Like,
yeah.
I sent a text to Martin, hey, cool lady, did you let go a shit torpedo or something like that?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, what?
I know.
I bet you don't even think your farts smell or something like that.
Oh, yeah, of course they smell. They're farts. They come from my asshole.
I think the director of this movie has a real thing for ass play, because he directed, if you've ever seen the ABCs of Death, he did F is for Fart. His short film is pretty much what got his career kind of rolling, and that was called Bad Butt.
Well, no kidding. This guy really wanted to make a porno. I gotta tell you that.
Yeah. Dude, there were parts of this, I'm like, Are they like, is this supposed to be a porn? Like, they really had the shower scene? Really? Like, you needed that?
Oh, the shower scene was weird.
Yeah.
No, it's not nearly as weird as that porta potty scene.
Look, definitely not that.
I've seen Japanese women in pornos in that exact position, making those exact same movements and making those same noises, and this is the only time I've seen the exact same thing, and I wanted it to stop.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I don't know if this is supposed to be good, but it's not.
Oh no, it's not. It's not good.
I'm not laughing. I don't have an erection. There's no point to this scene.
And the thing is that, like, I loved Karate Robo Zabugar, right? Like, it was goofy and funny and weird. Great.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
supposed
this
to be
was
the
made
big
by the same guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna keep that for the big surprise, but
Oh.
thanks, guys. I was gonna be like, oh, but this guy had his, he had one thing he did that you might remember because that was.
Well, why don't we backpedal and just pretend we didn't say that?
It's already done. The damage is done. Fuck you.
That's fine. So I loved that movie, right? But here's the thing, like, that was a different sort of movie than this. Like, this, I look at it and I go, really? Like, every element of it is just so painful.
Well, wasn't there a little bit of tentacle rape in?
Yeah, but you know what? That was genuinely, like, funny. Like, I'm sitting here.
No, it was not funny.
Like, well, but it wasn't tentacle rape, right? Like, it was tentacle sex. It was kind of weird.
Oh yeah,
But
I guess
It was like a tentacle beatdown. I don't know what it was. It was supposed to be sex, but she got pregnant from it.
Yes.
Oh sure, yeah. So
but in the end, it was just a tentacle slapping a guy in the face a lot.
Yeah, but that's different than this scene where it was like, if it wasn't in the context of an ass zombie movie, even
I can't believe
was
that
like
sentence came out of someone's mouth right now.
What?
If it wasn't for it being an ass zombie movie, fuck you,
like
movie.
so like it's supposed to be funny, right? But if you didn't know that it was played for laughs, you would be like, oh my god, what is wrong with this? I told Martin, I think the weirdest thing about that scene though is it's all CGI for the most part, with the exception of some rubber prosthetics. So those actresses had to act out that scene.
Like, there was a lot of ADR because that chick with that tentacle in her mouth was like talking perfectly.
Oh yeah. Oh no, granted, but still, like, I just couldn't help but thinking, oh my god, they actually had to act this out.
I don't know where the limit of Japanese shame is. In a society where you can shame them for, like, bringing them the wrong cup of coffee, having some kind of fucking tapeworm come out of their asshole into someone else's mouth is perfectly fine.
I want to be a supermodel, so I want to have the tapeworm. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
I remember her saying that to her boyfriend early in the movie. He's like,
yes.
I want a tapeworm. I'm like, I thought she was just fucking around or something.
No, she wants that to be a model. Because apparently she's not good looking enough and she needs to be super skinny.
Apparently she still had a magazine from the 1940s, but that was an actual remedy.
Oh, Jesus, that's right. That's stupid. I hate that. Yeah. I hate tapeworms. I hate, like, the whole idea of these worms. Ugh.
And it's very obvious that you hated this movie. Some of the texts that you sent me were just in caps. Suddenly bugs! Suddenly drug-addled teenagers! Suddenly dead sister monologue! Followed by, fuck you!
Oh, I had,
no,
I sent
seriously,
some of those texts too.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that was the next one. No, really. Fuck you. Sad frowny face.
I think that was the porta potty scene.
And Paul, you didn't really like it that much either. And
I know, right?
Yeah, you think that the guy who did Karate Robo Zabogar would have made something that would have even...
Did he make this movie before that or after that?
I believe this was after. I think he did Robogar first.
So he saw Robogar and thought, oh, I know the parts that people liked. Fighting on tits, fart rockets, and tentacle porn. And then he was like, okay, I'll just make a movie all about that, because clearly that's what everyone loved about it.
No, please. The last thing we wanted was tentacles.
So, it was toned down in Karate Robo Zabugar was the worst part. Like, it was subtle, somewhat. I mean, yes, it's very obvious that they're fighting on, like, the daughter's chest, but it's, like, it's subtle compared to, I'm in a porta potty, he smacks the ass, and then a sound effect plays whenever he does it. And, like, it's just this zombie, like, oh, like, just groping her. It's just really weird.
I can't believe we're calling a movie with a huge robot battle scene subtle.
I know, that's what hurts my soul, is that I know it's over the top, but compared to this movie, that was subtle.
I love what you've been texting me during the movie. Like, a lot of it is, like, quotes that you just can't believe it, but... You really, really hated this shower scene. All I hear is, holy shit, did this movie really need a creepy shower scene?
Yeah, that fucked me up, too. I think I, like, stopped texting around that time.
Of course, this is following Anal Volcano and Holy CGI Batman.
Yeah.
So do you think other people have the same reaction to this movie that you guys do?
If they're smart, they are.
Well, so here's the thing. I think we're somewhat different in that, like, I didn't go out looking for a movie or saw, like, the description of this and said, this looks interesting, right? So I suspect that people who seek out this movie might have enjoyed it more.
Like a shit fetish kind of person? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're getting at, Paul?
Potentially, but also just like, oh, it's a really shitty Japanese horror comedy. This will be great. And then they watch it and they're like, I am satisfied in what I found.
Hey,
it was exactly as
yes,
it was advertised.
It was exactly as shitty as I expected. I am satisfied.
Both
Whereas
literally and metaphorically.
Yeah, but for us, it was like, damn you! I hope you die in a chemical fire.
Exactly. I really wanted everyone involved in this movie to die.
So why don't we actually see? What the other people were, what they said about it? Because I have one which somebody gave this movie an 8 out of 10 and called it the poor man's Prometheus.
What?
Really?
The review says, with such a title, no one expects great cinematic achievement. Yet with the similar storylines and themes as Prometheus with a trillionth of its budget, this parody will make you laugh much harder. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely not.
So I haven't seen Prometheus, so I don't know. However, if this is like Prometheus, I will not see Prometheus either.
Well, I guess the rape was kind of Prometheus-y. Is that what they're talking about?
The funny thing is, even people who don't like Prometheus, I'm sure would take a look at this movie and say, look, if you're going to hate this movie, hate it for the right reasons. Don't fucking hate it because you think it's filled with shit zombies.
Yeah, I thought the zombies was like a typical horror movie, but with just shit. But then I just went, okay, I guess we're going to make this a technically great movie at the same time. That's where it lost
Well,
me.
it was like everything stereotypical, like the things that people like laugh at Japan about. They're like, oh,
exactly.
Japan's known for blah, blah, blah. They were like adding all those elements, like the tentacle rape stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're embarrassed by farts. Tee-hee, tee-hee.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything over there.
Yeah, like, Japan. This was like stereotype the horror movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys have your own idea of what this movie was about. But this 10 out of 10 review says that this movie is about a Japanese schoolgirl who learns to be brave and fart in public.
That is
okay, I guess I got that too from it.
And he says, I think this movie just knocked Pink Flamingos out of first place for the best movie I've ever seen.
Oof.
So let's take a look at the bar and where it's set. This bar is literally set in shit.
Well, as someone who's seen Pink Flamingos, I guess I was as entertained by it as I was with Pink Flamingos, which wasn't really very much. I was probably a little more disgusted.
You know what? I agree with that, because after seeing Pink Flamingos, I needed to hit the medicine cabinet and take as many pills as I could and hope that I didn't wake up.
Oh, that's that John Waters movie.
Yeah, by the way, the famous part about that movie happens at the very end.
Yeah, it kind of wipes out everything about, you know, the gay blowjob and the chicken that dies on screen that was also shoved up someone's ass.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
And all that stuff was real, but I still think it was a better movie.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So, like, the guy is right in the sense that this movie is sort of about a schoolgirl who learns it's okay to fart in public. That is, you could get that lesson from this movie, right? Because at first she is embarrassed. Her sister kills herself because she was forced to fart in public, and so like that is technically true, but really they went in so many different directions to get to that point.
All right, well, I think I found one of the people that you were talking about. This person obviously must have sought out this movie. He gave it a 5 out of 5, and I have to read you this whole review the way he wrote it because there's a lot of caps lock. And the title of the review is, Nothing Else Like It! Incredible B-movie! I just finished watching this movie and must say, I've never seen anything that was as spot on for a zombie flick as this. Zombie movies are a dime a dozen these days. It's a standout. They need to have originality. Space. This is the most original thing I've ever seen. The description on the back cover thankfully did not give away too much info. So everything was to be expected before it happened in the film. They were different sentences.
Wow.
If you're looking for something a bit different, you cannot go wrong with zombie-ass toilet. I guess he shut off his caps lock at the end of the review there.
Yeah, I guess so.
So the thing is, like, it wasn't like, I mean, yeah, the CGI was really bad, but it wasn't like especially bad, and like the shots themselves looked kind of interesting if the content wasn't so bad. So like I could see like some people like looking at this and enjoying it. Like that's why I said like I think it's a bad movie, but that's just because I didn't like any of the any of the content, right? Yeah, like,
it was
a bunch
awful.
Of zombies.
I didn't like the scenes. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like what they were saying. You know, I just didn't like this.
There was one character I did like. I did actually like Was it Megumi? The karate.
Yeah, because she's like the brave person in the film that's gonna make it at the end.
Yes.
That's
So
the only reason you fucking like her.
She's
And I'm not
she's
saying
the
it's
horror
you,
virgin.
everybody.
But yeah,
She is.
but
She's the stereotypical horror version.
Exactly.
But I was okay with like her, and I actually didn't mind like the characters themselves. Like I actually didn't mind them. Like I thought they were funny, whatever. But
I thought so at the beginning. I'll give you
situations,
that.
like it was just like, oh look, you just completely smashed a zombie's head with your ass. Ha ha ha. Ha.
Unfunny and gross.
Well, I guess this guy, E.J. Boxler from Rotten Tomatoes, certainly got it right when he gave a 2 out of 5 review for it. He says, and I quote, "I watched the whole film in fascination knowing that someone thought this up and convinced an entire crew and cast to make it."
Yeah.
He must have been waving dollars at them or whatever, yen.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't say it better myself, because this is the movie where at the very beginning, a mad scientist takes out a boxing glove and starts punching a zombie, and at the end of the scene, I actually felt bad for the zombie.
Yeah, me too.
But of course, then the intro turns into like an Austin Powers movie, so I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
I even sent you the text, asses bouncing all around yo intestines.
Yeah.
That was. You know what I realized? Like, if it were just a matter of like, oh no, they kicked a zombie's neck off, or like they squished his head or whatever, like that would be one thing. But they tried to make it a weirdly sexual movie.
That's the thing that needed to go away from this movie.
There was nothing sexy about this movie, and
literally
right?
nothing.
It's like the grope scenes, the unnecessary grope scenes, and like the sound effects that go along with it, and like, oh no, you're exposing my ass crack. Oh, or like at the end, like, you should be my daughter. We'll play father-daughter games like this.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's all Japanese like fetish shit. I feel.
Yeah.
Like, he just threw a little bit of everything in there.
Like this wasn't just a horror movie. This was like a softcore horror movie, like a
Cinemax horror movie.
Yeah,
it was so off, but everything about it was just wrong. I mean, when you actually saw tits, it was for the girl who had really small ones.
Yeah,
when you saw like a nice ass, what happens is a zombie hand comes up from a toilet and it just starts for 5 minutes rubbing shit all over it while she does nothing.
Gross.
It inversed my penis. I think I'm a woman now. Beyond being sexual, this movie is just, its logic is baffling. Right from the get-go, I knew there was a problem because when, Sachi, who's the Dr. Tanaka's daughter, she gets a bloody nose, and the first thing he asked her was, "Where does it hurt?" I don't know, take a fucking guess!
Well, no, where does it hurt? And she says, it's embarrassing. So it wasn't actually in her nose.
Why was her nose bleeding?
Because,
no, that was definitely her ass. That's what I got from that.
It's what's it called? It was her ass that was hurting, but she got a nosebleed because she was so weak, right? Because that's what they had said earlier.
Yeah, sure, because women are weak in this movie, remember?
Yep. Oh, yeah, there was that other thing. Well, I mean, besides the whole bathroom scene where they were talking about that sort of stuff, at the very end, when I actually wrote it down because I sent it to Martin. Yeah, when he kills crazy queen bitch, she says, "Like a woman, I will never forgive you."
Yeah,
and then her head
I saw that. I'm like, what the hell is this fucking movie doing? It's like
it's
she
weird.
said that herself.
It'll suddenly just start hating women. I mean, there's a part where Dr. Tanaka is talking about his daughter, where after she brings them food, and he says she's sickly but cooks a good meal. I mean, what does one have to do with the other? That's like saying she's missing her feet, but she can still suck a mean dick.
The worst part was I was actually thinking at the time, oh my god, this is like Karate Robo Zubble.
Yeah.
They hate women, so it didn't actually surprise me really that.
I forgot about that part, that hating women part of the Zubblegar.
Oh yeah.
I tried to blank that part out in my mind. And pardon the pun, but I mean, it's not just women. The zombies, I know they're killers, but they're just straight up assholes at times. I mean, when they're not trying to kill you, they're just throwing handfuls of shit at you.
Oh, the best part about that whole thing was, I don't know if you noticed, his suit had the shit balls in the pocket, and he was just like grabbing in and grabbing balls and throwing them.
So he fucking planned it.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the zombies who, when they see people, they announce themselves, and if they're children, they go, it's basically like, you kids, get out of my forest.
Even undead, they still have to act in a respectable fashion.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the characters for a minute. They are what they are. They are cliches. They're horror movie cliches. I've already said that Megumi is the horror virgin. You know, her sister died, and she's not allowed to really connect to anyone. What would you guys think about the other characters? Because you have Tak, he's the druggie, he's the not the outcast. That's this other guy. I actually
The
wrote down.
crazy nerd guy.
There's Blue Dress Tits, who's the whore.
Yep.
Yep, the whore. You got.
There's what's it called? The crazy nerd guy who.
Yep.
They called Vat of Vomit guy or something like that.
He'll inevitably die at the end to save a girl or something like that.
I think his name is Noi, but this is the guy who has a magic stomach because he can vomit even when his mouth is closed, and I find that very impressive.
Well, the best part is, like, it was very obvious, like a hose with like vomit, but it was just like so much. But even the characters commented on it though, so.
Oh, I actually have a note from the first time you seen. I think they called him Mr. Noi or Noi.
Huh?
Oh, and I got it right here. Oh yeah, I said I hate him.
Like we all do, Martin. We all hated him.
This movie hurt my feelings in many ways, and not like it's not like it offended me or anything, but it just took everything I loved and then added shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
I love women. I love seeing them naked. I've seen more erotic shit in fucking South Park: The Stick of Truth. All right, so why don't we move on to our... Unless, do you guys have anything else you want to say about the movie?
Oh, fuck no.
Die.
Yeah, die. Exactly.
So why don't we give our final thoughts? Describe this movie in 3 to 5 words. Paul. Actually, you both named Paul.
Yep.
So, my brother, Paul.
PT.
Yeah, PT.
Disaster shit zombie.
Disaster shit zombies. Disaster shit zombies, just like that.
Disaster. This movie is a disaster.
All right, how about you, other Paul?
Go fuck yourself.
Well, that's apt.
It's an apt description.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
So I combed the quotes of this movie, and I picked one that described this movie perfectly. Shit, just you wait.
You don't have to wait long. You really don't have to wait very long.
Nope.
Oh.
You have diarrhea. Slap. You're inappropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now you get to pick the movie that the next people see.
Yay!
Let's hear it.
Did they pick this movie, by the way?
Yes.
Yep.
I tried not to.
So here are the 3 movies, and I'll give you a description of what each one is. The first one is called Grabbers. It's an alien monster movie where being drunk is the only thing that will save you. Then there's The Comedy, which is about a hipster who's mean to his friends. And Deathstalker, which is a cross between Conan the Barbarian and Super Mario Brothers. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So, PT, which one do you want to give to the next group of people?
I'm thinking Grabbers. I mean, I think I might have voted for that movie last time, but I think that sounds like a good amount of shit and possible, like, oh, this is going to be an entertaining movie. Oh, disappointment.
Great, thanks. I'm watching it too. And you probably are too, again.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, how about you, other Paul?
So, I think that it sounds like the drunk being the only defense movie might have some potential. Because, yay, drunk people doing stupid stuff. I'm thinking Deathstalker.
So there's a tie. Fuck, I had a quarter for this too. Hold on, because that's how we determine things. All right, so here's how it's going to go. I grab the quarter. Heads is Grabbers. Tails, Deathstalker. Almighty coin, do your garbage.
For the garbage movie.
Head, Grabbers.
Woo!
So next movie we are going to watch is Grabbers. I'm actually really interested in this one, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But until then, you guys know what to do. Fuck off. That's it for now. You can email the show at wdijwpodcast@gmail.com. And you can tell us your thoughts, opinions, recommendations, or just give us some good old-fashioned hate mail. You can follow me on Twitter at SomeJerkFB, or check out my bullshit pictures that I post on my Tumblr page by searching Some Jerk from Boston. More episodes of the show can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. And until next time, vomit with your mouth closed. It works!